Good afternoon, friends. One of the important judgment from Supreme Court. We are finding many dispute 2A versus 3B, right, for the recipient. And there's a mismatch that credit availed in 3B is not matching with GSTR-2A. The judgment of Honorable Calcutta High Court in the case of Suncraft Energy Private Limited. Credit was denied to the recipient because of mismatch with 2A versus 3B, without taking any action against the defaulting supplier. Of course, there was mismatch in 2A versus 3B. And what department normally does? They always want recipient buyer to reverse credit along with interest and penalty if it is not matching with GSTR-2A. GSTR-2A not matching, it can be on account of number of reason. Reason could be 1. He might not have paid the taxes, neither filed 1 nor filed 3B. So it is not auto-populating in 2A, but credit is being availed by the recipient. Because recipient availed the credit on the basis of conditions specified under section 16 subsection 2. But I'm telling you, for initial time period when 2A was not available, this recipient was not aware of the supplier, even after collecting the tax from the buyer, has not deposited. Buyer ने recipient ने सप्लायर को पेमेंट कर दिया, अब सप्लायर ने जमा नहीं किया. बायर को कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा? जब 2A नहीं आया था, उसे नहीं मालूम था कि सप्लायर ने इवन आफ्टर कलेक्टिंग द टैक्स जमा नहीं कराया. अभी भी I can argue that 2A is not sacrosanct. You can't say with conformity that you can decide, you can be affirmed that your supplier has deposited the tax which you have paid to the supplier. You can't. Maybe example 10 लाख रुपए की लाइबिलिटी है सप्लायर की, पर वो 5 लाख का ही 1 भरता है और 5 लाख की पे करता है, तो स्टेटस तो फाइल्ड आएगा, पर उसकी लाइबिलिटी तो 10 लाख की थी ना. हो सकता है 5 लाख जो बैलेंस का अमाउंट है वो आपके क्रेडिट से रिलेटेड है. सो पहले प्रॉब्लम ये थी कि 2A आया ही लेट, हमें मालूम ही नहीं पड़ा, बायर को नहीं मालूम पड़ा. The supplier, even after collecting the tax, is not depositing the tax. So in the case of this Suncraft Energy Private Limited, issue was there was a mismatch of credit 2A versus 3B. And Honorable Calcutta High Court has said that you can't demand reversal from the buyer, from the recipient, unless you take action against the defaulting supplier. Am I right? Interesting one. You must be recalling one of the judgment from Madras High Court. D.Y. Bethel Enterprises. Same. Department wanted buyer to reverse credit along with interest and penalty for non-payment of taxes by the defaulting supplier. Honorable Madras High Court has said you can't demand reversal from the buyer for the fault of supplier of non-payment of taxes. Supplier की गलती की सजा आप buyer को नहीं दे सकते. You must initiate action against the defaulting supplier first. पहले आप defaulting supplier को पकड़ो तो सही, उसके against में investigation तो start करो. Why you are going to buyer and wanted them to reverse credit? Suncraft Energy Private Limited. On section 16 subsection 2 clause C, I made lot many other videos which you can watch on my YouTube channel and watch. But this judgment is important because what happened, Calcutta High Court has given favorable judgment in favor of petitioner. SLP was filed by the revenue in the Supreme Court. And the Honorable Supreme Court has dismissed the SLP on ground demand being on lower side, and Honorable Supreme Court is not inclined to interfere under the power given Article 136 to the Constitution of India. So we all are debating whether this dismissal of SLP by Honorable Supreme Court in this case is going to help us or not, to the taxpayer, to all large taxpayers who are facing the fire and burnt off. Supplier got defaulted. He did not pay the tax even after collecting. Why buyer, recipient should be penalized? Calcutta High Court given favorable judgment. SLP got dismissed for the reason demand being on lower side and did not find fit for exercising power under Article 136 to the Constitution of India. Quite obvious, I understand this part, but importantly here, mismatch may happen on a number of grounds. And let me tell you, I find this SLP which has got dismissed by Honorable Supreme Court will have some persuasive value. And what kind of persuasive value? Of course, they have said demand being on lower side, but bona fidely, this case is very interesting for all of us together. And let me create, when there is a mismatch in 2A versus 3B, there may be many regions. The first big region I'm citing you, 2A versus 3B mismatch. Let's say your supplier making B2B supply, but he has wrongly furnished as a B2C in its GSTR-1. Quite obvious, it is not going to be auto-populated in your 2A. Your supplier wrongly furnished GST number of the recipient, not going to be auto-populated in your 2A. Let's say interstate supply, Delhi to Maharashtra, IGST. IGST invoice was raised, IGST paid by the supplier through 3B, but wrongly furnished as a intra-state in a GSTR-1. Place of supply wrongly mentioned at Delhi, whereas it should have been mentioned Maharashtra. It is coming but showing ineligible in 2A. And maybe supplier has paid the taxes through 3B but did not file GSTR-1. It is all pertaining to the past years I'm referring to, until the recent changes made effective from 1st January 2022 and thereby improvement from 1st October 2022. I'm talking about the past years, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, 2021. So quite obvious it is not coming in your 2A and you have availed the credit, right? Do you really require to match with GSTR-2A? Number of video I have made and I have summarized that 2A is not determining factor for availing credit. Importantly, there is no provision under section 16 subsection 2 which is referring that you should match with GSTR-2A. No reference of 2A. It is only 2B and that is made effective from 1st January 2022. Prospectively. So 2A is not determining. There is Honorable Supreme Court judgment Bharti Airtel. In that judgment it is being said 2A is only facilitation. Then why mismatch of credit 2A versus 3B department going to deny? Their own circular acknowledging this position that 2A versus 3B mismatch may happen on lot many ground and they have given some procedure so that the proper officers should allow you the credit, even though it is not auto-populated in 2A by circular number 183 and circular number 193 until 31st December 2021, whenever there is a mismatch of 2A versus 3B. This is the pertaining to when mismatch coming out. Now, having said that, lot many other dispute going on, even though credit coming in 2A, but still department dispute the credit for the buyer, for the recipient. It is coming in your 2A, आपके 2A में आ रहा है, but buyer और recipient की credit को deny करते हैं for the reason supplier is non-existent. Supplier registration cancelled with retrospective date. So maybe his registration got cancelled sometime in 23 with retrospective date from July 1, 2017. For impugned period, let's say 18-19, they are saying credit is not available. Sometimes they are alleging that even though credit coming in 2A, but I will not give you the credit because in the supply chain, there is some L1 who happened to be fake registrant, fake registration लिया, fake invoice raise किया, 1 भरा, 3B नहीं भरा, and that is being continuing. And you happen to be 6th one in the supply chain purchasing from the 5th position supplier. How you as a recipient would be knowing that there is someone L1 who has taken the fake registration? So 2A में आ रहा है, but फिर भी मैं 3B में credit नहीं दूंगा. क्यों? The dispute one, supplier non-existent. अरे जिस टाइम पे मैंने credit ली थी वो existent था. अगर आज की डेट में नॉन एग्जिस्टेंट है तो आप जाके पता कीजिए ना. रजिस्ट्रेशन तो आपने ही दिया है ना दोनों को. With retrospective date registration cancelled for the supplier, why credit would be denied for the buyer? You are cancelling today and disputing period 18-19. How come? There are lot many judgments from Calcutta High Court, LGW Industries Limited, Sanchita Kundu, Gargo Traders, Bright Star Plastic Industries Limited, lot many judgment in our favor on this ground. Even though they are saying 2A credit coming in, credit is coming in 2A, but I will not give you the credit for the reason cited. And these are again matter of dispute. So to my mind, this SLP, which was dismissed by Honorable Supreme Court, because demand being on lower side, but judgment of Calcutta High Court is really on merit. Can you say that this merit is not going to prevail? To my mind, humble submission, it is going to prevail. Just because mismatch of credit 2A versus 3B, you wanted buyer, recipient to reverse credit, and you're not taking any action against the defaulting supplier. You're not initiating any investigation against defaulting supplier and wanted buyer to reverse credit. Please be natural, be neutral, be fair, full. I mean to say, you should be fair to the genuine and honest buyer or recipient. Can you really deny such credit? And this Calcutta High Court judgment, Suncraft Energy Private Limited, is on merit. So to my mind, SLP got dismissed by Honorable Supreme Court, being demand on lower side, and Honorable Supreme Court was not inclined to interfere in terms of exercising power under Article 136. SLP got dismissed, but still I feel this judgment of Calcutta High Court is on merit, as we have seen in the case of Madras High Court, DY Bethel Enterprises. And I did discuss that credit not coming in 2A for number of region and 2A only facilitation. No provision under section 16 subsection 2 to cross-check with 2A. Even though coming in 2A but disputed on different background for which recipient is not responsible. So department has to prove connivance. If there's a connivance between supplier and recipient, then it can be said that credit can be denied for the buyer. And that is what the crux of those judgments which I referred. LGW Industries, Sanchita Kundu, Gargo Traders, Bright Star Plastic Industries Limited. Important to watch. Hope the judgment and this analysis will help you for your GST endeavors. We have created the newsletter on this particular judgment, and the judgment which I have referred. These videos are also being prepared, and they are on my YouTube channel, which you can watch independently. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.